You see Santa Claus tonight? You better run, boy. You better run for your life.
It's hilarious.
It's such a hard cut. I was like, good for that guy. He's just always in character, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
What's your favorite scary movie? Swallow this.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Arrow in the Head Show. Of course, that makes me Lance, and that makes you the Arrow, Mr. John Fallon, buddy. It's good to see you back again.
Hey, call me the guy with the hat, from now on.
I'm actually thinking about buying that similar hat and then wearing it when we start the episode and be like, it's only one of us.
That'd be pretty funny, actually. You should wear a hat sometimes, man. Bald guys look good in hats. What do you think, I'm playing this kind?
I got a whole wall when you walk in my front door. It's hilarious with all these like stupidly big brimmed hats because it's like, hey, you don't want to get age spots. I'm really paranoid about that.
Age spots? What the fuck is that?
You get enough sun, you get those like Bill Murray like brown spots.
Oh yeah.
No dice, man. No, I'm pretty enough. But hey, man, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Our Christmas episode, yeah.
Definitely, and Merry Christmas to all of you, by the way. Yeah, you excited for the holidays?
I'm at that age where, as long as it's safe and there's no snow. All I ever want on Christmas is a snowless, warm day. So
you don't want Christmas, basically?
I mean, Christmas it's in here, John.
No, it's in here, bro. It's in here. Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't. I hate driving in snow, and so when people are like, I love snow at Christmas, like people travel, right? Going down the fucking Dan Ryan, slipping around. No, thank you, man. But who knows? Heading back to Chicago.
Nice.
Nice. What about you? You got a nice little California Christmas, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going to the mountains, rented a place, do some skiing, and that's my Christmas. Yeah, it'll be fun. It's a good way to stay in shape.
Yeah, get the core in the legs, man. I love it.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So I guess, last show we did that horrible Black Christmas remake. So this week, let's see if we did better. We're, of course, tackling the 1984 Silent Night, Deadly Night, DOG, not the Silent Night remake. Before we dive into that, I guess, Christmas tradition, on this episode, what are we drinking?
My friend, I'm actually going to sting a little bit of Tyler's drink a few episodes ago, but it is Christmas, so I went with the Evan Williams eggnog.
I've been looking for it everywhere. I can't find that motherfucker, man.
Really? It's everywhere. Yeah. I mean, out here, it's everywhere. But I'm also, I think it's only, hold on, not to sound like a lush, it's only 15%. And I was like, well, that's
well, that's okay.
Yeah, you're right. It's fine. It's fine if I have to go out and do grocery shopping. But I was in St. Augustine yesterday because they have this whole lights thing. It's really cool. But I went and got a little salted caramel whiskey.
Nice.
It's not bad. It's a obviously flavored whiskey, so you add it to stuff. It's not something I would sit there and drink on ice per se. But I add this to the eggnog. Now I got stronger eggnog.
You're funny, dude. I love the fact you buy pre-mixed shit and then add more shit to it. I respect that on some warped level. I've never done that personally. I've never done that.
You don't, because I thought if you use a mixer with alcohol in it, I'm always just sort of leveling up, I'm a bit of a mixer, but what about you, buddy? What are you drinking?
Oh, I'm going really simple, dude. I already started my first drink. Apologies. But, I was thirsty. I got a Dewar's Scotch whiskey.
Oh, I've never seen them in little bottles.
Yeah, a little bottle. And then to cap it off, I'm going to have a little Black Irish cream.
Okay.
That's it. Going light.
A little drink for the show, buddy. Well, hey.
Exactly, man. Well.
Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas, my friend. Merry Christmas to all of you. And I hope you have a good time. You don't kill your family. And, 2023 is all of our bitch. After, how was your 2022, by the way? Real fast.
I think it was fine. Yeah, I don't know. I don't perceive time the same way as most people. It gets really kind of foggy, but I would say, yeah, I mean, it got me by the beach, man. I'd say pretty damn good, actually.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Considering, I think all life is this.
Well, life is definitely this.
Yeah.
7, but 2022 was the first year we lived as humans after the 2 years of pandemic bullshit.
Well, I mean, in that way, it was better for sure. I mean, it was life.
I don't know. I just feel like
more normal.
the world has gone nuts a little bit. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm a little fucked up.
Or I shouldn't say great.
It was weird. It was weird.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
My year was weird. Really weird energy. Really weird. Like, I had great shit. I directed a film. Bada bing, bada boom. I got good things that happened, but also a lot of weird things and weird things. That's it. So I have a feeling next year is going to be better. Where 2 years in prison, then a year you're free. And next year you go about it in a more stable way. That's what I'm seeing. On that,
2023 then.
To 2023. Cheers all. Cheers, my man.
Hello, my friends! Hey!
So let's go. Silent Night, Deadly Night, 1984, directed by On You.
Okay, well, thank you, because it's a weird name.
Charles
E. So I always say Charles E. Seller, but
Cellier. It's like a French name.
Okay, that's a problem. It's like I don't have that French tongue.
Charles E. Cellier
Jr. Yeah. Super. I was trying kind of a grindhousey, sleazy movie. It's funny. It's one of those ones. I should say this real quick. When I was a kid, this had the porn cover, which was the box, the VHS box. That was like 3 times the size of a normal VHS box. I don't know if you had it.
The plastic ones there.
Yeah, it's just this big porn. Yeah, I had a family video store, and so they had a porn section. And I grew up with a Blockbuster, like all these young ones. So you get to peek back and shit, see all the big boxes. So I remember, and this is one of the ones that like they wouldn't let you rent. And so I think I saw it in high school, and every time I watch this, I'm always like, oh, I forget how sleazy it is. I forget like that's like the main part. It's funny. It always goes over my head. But something else, man, caused quite a stir. Siskel and Ebert, as much as I love them, were unnecessarily harsh on this. It's like, did you?
Yeah,
see
it's like
crap?
It's like they had never seen Halloween or Friday the 13th.
Yeah. They took this one personally. It was bizarre
because it was Santa. That was the whole thing that happened with the movie. It came out the same year, 1984, as Nightmare on Elm Street, and it was actually kicking Elm Street's ass at the box office. But to the defense of Elm Street, they had more screens than Elm Street did. But then the controversy started to kick in, and people picketing and stuff like that. Like there was an organization, a group that formed to picket, and then Siskel and Ebert came on and basically, I actually found a clip of it, if you want to show it, where they name, TriStar and everybody that was behind the movie. Shame on you, you should not be proud. Relax, dude.
Let me repeat the names of the writer and director and producers of this film. Michael Hickey wrote the film, Charles E. Cellier Jr. directed it, and Ira Richard Barmack produced it. You people have nothing to be proud of, even if you made a few bucks off of all the negative publicity. Your profits truly are blood money.
It was actually weird to see that even in 1984, we still had that kind of shit. Like today, I mean, you can't fart in the wind without some asshole on Twitter calling you on or being triggered or offended or, getting his fucking panties in a bunch. But even back then, yeah.
A pretty standard. I mean, it's a good one. We both like it. That's why we're here. But I mean, it's a little grindhouse. It's a little sleazy, but nothing on a level where, it's not,
Serbian film. Yeah.
I would understand that at least a little. This, I'm like, there's some tits.
Yeah. Well, it was more the thing that it's Santa. They got offended by the fact it was Santa Claus doing the killing, even though it had been done in a Tales from the Crypt episode.
The 70s one.
It had been done in Christmas Evil. For some reason, on that one, they just got their panties in a bunch, as I said before. So it's definitely, I watched it this morning before the show. It's not a happy movie. It's a weird movie, actually, really, if you look at it structurally, because it starts really hard, with the actually, I just gotta mention this, with the family going to see the grandpa who's like catatonic or whatever the fuck. And then for some reason, the family decide to leave the Billy Black Christmas, Billy here. So a lot of Billies are psychos on Christmas, I noticed. For no reason whatsoever. Did you notice that?
Yeah, they didn't bring him in like you would a normal child. They just let him there, yeah.
Well, they all go see Grandpa. Grandpa's like, all right, Grandpa's, tired or whatever. Let's leave. They leave. Billy stays behind. But, the dad doesn't come. Yo, Billy, come over. They just leave him there just so that moment can happen where Grandpa shows that he's faking it. And beware, Santa Claus will, punish you and all that shit.
And he goes right back to it. Remember? He's like, okay.
Yeah. It's fucking hilarious.
It's such a hard cut. I was like, good for that guy. He's just always in character,
Yeah, definitely. Like, why does he do that in the first place? Why doesn't he want to talk to his son? I mean, I guess he's nuts. I guess that's the whole rationale.
Sure, but I mean, I for some reason always thought that we're missing information. Like, was there a Santa thing that happened to him as a kid or something to tie it into? But yeah, he's in a whole con. The whole thing's a long con for some reason. I'm like, hey, good for that guy.
And he kind of looks like Santa too.
Yeah, it's like
that kind of threw me off, because I didn't remember the movie. So, anyways, as you know, guys, we're gonna be spoiling the movie. FYI, if you haven't seen it, get the fuck out of here. Go watch it. Come back. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, at this point, you should have seen this movie.
So then the kid, the family gets whacked, and the woman gets. I don't know if she gets raped, but she definitely gets her.
He was going for it.
He's going for it,
which was pretty hard opening.
And then it becomes this whole fucking thing where we follow the child, and the child actor who's in the, I guess, orphanage, right, with the nuns, who played Billy, was really good. I thought he was a really good actor for a kid.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And you're feeling for him, man. You're feeling empathy for him. Poor guy, he got traumatized and all this stuff, and it's going that way. And then then we meet him, as a young adult, an 18-year-old. Of course, he's blonde. He looks like a model. He's ripped as fuck.
They do that pan up from the.
Exactly.
Like, he's not a kid. It's just this fucking sex shot. Like, his arms are a ripple. His sleeves are up. I was like.
Spent most of his time chasing women and drinking.
Who's this for?
He's got a 12-pack going on. His name was. I was just looking at it. I tried to be sneaky and look at it without nobody noticing, but you all saw me. Robert Brian Wilson, and who played Billy, the 18-year-old.
Yeah, probably 24.
He was actually not an actor. He was just a good-looking guy, and his girlfriend urged him to audition, and then he had like a bit of a career after the movie, like in soaps and shit. But and then he becomes this guy, and then this guy, you feel for him too. You feel for him, man. He's just an awkward dude, even though he looks like a fucking model. Yeah. But he's awkward and this and that, and I felt for him. And then the movie shifts full on, like it tries to communicate that his traumas. Maybe I'm overthinking it, by the way.
No, it's definitely this film definitely goes in trauma.
Yeah, his traumas, and at some point when they have him dressed as Santa Claus, he snaps.
Yes.
And then it becomes a standard slasher until the finale. So it's a very odd structure for a slasher, I found. Odd in the sense that it kind of, the beats it's hitting could be a drama.
It humanizes the killer for quite a good chunk of the thing.
Yeah, for a good chunk of the thing. It's not like a mysterious, Michael Myers, or like Michael Myers has his own backstory. Jason has his own backstory, but we see it in either in a prologue or flashbacks. With this particular film, he actually takes us to his backstory. It's the first 2 acts of the movie is his backstory. So by the time he switches, then it's a weird. It's almost like the perspective of the movie changes, because I've been watching the movie through Billy's eyes, but then when he switches, it's actually we're still through Billy's eyes, but he's just fucking nuts.
If you think about it, what actually does it is the girl he has a crush on gets raped at the fucking back of the work party. And then she basically flips out on him.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, that's what did it. That's what did it. It really, I was really surprised he wrote that down, that, because it's been a little while since I've seen it, and I remember all the big beats, but I remember her being, I remember the girl getting raped and him coming in. What I did remember is her being like, you fucking weirdo, you freak. I'm like, whoa, this guy just saved your life.
You're crazy.
Stop it, Pamela.
You bastard. You're crazy.
This guy
Not only
saved your
that,
life.
he saved her life. I took a mental note. Michael Myers style, man. He grabs that motherfucker. He chokes that motherfucker with one hand.
One-handed, yeah.
One hand.
I remember that. I was like,
Supernatural, yeah.
One hand strangled, just
Yeah,
holds him
that's
up
it.
and kills
He
him.
pulls him up, So, but I thought it was a weird thing, because the whole movie builds up that Billy and this brunette who looks like the good girl, if you will.
Yeah, she's a
you know,
cutie,
that
man. Yeah.
that they're gonna, you know, go somewhere. But then for some reason, she decides to go in the back warehouse or whatever the fuck with the slime ball Guido. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? You know.
Hold on.
For some reason, she starts making out with this dude out of nowhere, even though she was like totally into Billy the whole time.
Yeah, because she was being all cute with him. But hold on, the best part was he takes her back. He's like, I have a gift with you. And she's like, why did you give it to me out there? And he goes, it's something I've wanted to give you for a long time.
Mhm.
It's like this fucking porn line. I was just like, oh, okay. Woo. You know?
And she didn't guess what the gift was.
No, yeah. She's like, no, it's only for you. Something I want to give you for a long time.
Something I've been wanting to give you for a long time.
And then he goes like rape happy for some
Yeah,
reason.
just straight up rape. He just, it was also at the back of a Christmas party. And that is like, not like there's 100 people and you can sneak away. There's like 4 people. And 2 of them are in the back. I was like, dude, it was just too bizarre. I mean, they made him kind of the douchebag anyway, but he went from douchey 80s guy to a serious villain in a really quick beat. It was bizarre.
And she went from good girl that likes, or the anti-hero that likes Billy, to a hoe. Yeah, she's been she's been macking Billy the whole movie on a dime. On a dime, she goes for that fucking runt.
Well, that guy had the confidence, man. He, you know, pride.
You didn't think that was odd. You didn't think that was odd. Like that, like that, man.
I agree. I said that the biggest odd thing is that he saved her life and she got mad at him. You know, she's like, whoa, you gotta kill the guy? It's like, hey, he was gonna probably kill you, you know? It's pretty aggressive.
No, I don't think he was gonna kill her. He just wanted to, you know, get
who
some
knows,
love.
Man? That's a pretty aggressive fucking jump, man. I wouldn't trust that, you know?
Fair enough.
I mean,
but I agree. I even, you know, I actually turned to my chick. I'm like, some guy's trying to rape you, and I kill him. What are you gonna call me names, or are you gonna say thank you? I was like, no, say thank you. Okay.
Yeah, you think it'd be like the part where she hugs him and he becomes
thank you. You know, no, she's like, you maniac, you man. Okay, I should have let Guido do his fucking business. You know,
just lose. Yeah, and that's I think one of the best parts of the not the rape, of course, but that scene in that toy store at the end, like him killing the guy and then snapping, and then killing Mr. Sims, killing the other girl. I mean, Mr. Sims wrote down. I really like because he just had that sort of like sleazy, I don't give a shit sort of manager vibe to him. They're asking about the party, you know, and he's just like telling Billy, he's like drunk as shit. He's like, you know, you gotta go, you know, you gotta do it. It's Christmas Eve. Something to deliver the gifts. It's like fucking party's dead anyway, you know.
Fucking party's dead anyway.
Storing her away.
I hated Mr. Sims. Fuck Mr. Sims, man. Fuck him in the ear. Fuck him in the other ear. I mean,
I'm just saying I like characters like that. I find them funny. It's just like fucking party's dead anyway. It's like it's your party. There's only 4 people. How poppin' was it supposed to be, man? Like I said, I keep saying Grindhouse, but it has that sort of feel to me. It's 84, but dude, I would bet my life.
Yeah, it could be.
This was like 1979, 1980.
Yeah,
you know that like that cusp. The way it was filmed and everything.
Well, you know, I don't know which cut you saw, but
it's hard for me to tell.
Yeah, I know. It's like 85, 86 minutes. I think is the uncut version because it got scaled to like 79 minutes, if memory serves me right, before going out theatrically for the MPA, not to get an X rating. So you could see in the cut, like the cut I watched, when it's a kill scene, the
footage is worse.
Yeah, the footage looks different. Doesn't look as clean. Yeah,
that's what I had actually, because we'll get to it. But when my girlfriend gets impaled on the thing and it goes through her like abdomen, it looks like it was filmed on like 16 millimeter and like a Like I thought I just got a bad copy, but okay, that makes sense.
No, it's like that across the board. And funnily enough, little bit of trivia: the director, whose name we will not repeat because we both don't remember it and you can't pronounce it, he was uncomfortable with shooting the gore scenes. So the editor actually directed the kills, like the gore stuff. I don't know why you're taking a job as a director on a movie if you can't do it, but that's just how it goes. Yeah. Those
are the money shots. You know. So let me ask you this, because I don't own it. So are these clean? I mean, would you happen to know, are these cleaned up for?
No.
So this is the version that everybody would see. Like they oh wow.
To my knowledge, guys, I might, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, if there's a new 4K, what do we know? But I'm just saying in general, clearly, like.
No, in general, yeah, the 85 or 86, I'm not 100% sure.
125 minutes was the copy I watched. I remember I was like, oh, shit, it's under 90.
Which I think is the go-to version. So, how about this? Let's go about it this way. What was your favorite stuff from the movie?
Stuff. Well, my favorite scene was the typical slasher scene, but I mean, it's what I liked as a kid. Like when I saw it in high school, it's what I like now. I always say her name wrong, so I wrote it down. Linnea Quigley.
Yeah.
I call her my girlfriend.
Hmm.
We've never met, and she's not. But I mean, she's just from Return of the Living Dead on. I've had a crush on her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best scene because that is the quintessential slasher scene. She's fucking gorgeous and naked on the pool table. Like for some reason, they're fucking at a pool table. I don't know why.
Why wouldn't they?
Because there's a couch, there's beds. I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah.
And the little girl's like trying to come down. She's just like, ah. But her being impaled, I thought was awesome. And killing the
That's
boyfriend.
a good kill, actually. Very solid
Yes.
kill. Yeah.
Yeah. It goes to the door like Jason Voorhees. It was just, and then he gives the little girl the bloody box cutter. I mean, that to me is, it's like the scene I always go to when I think of this movie.
Well, look, she looks great topless, and she looks great in Daisy Dukes.
No, I mean, that's genetics. She's
Yeah.
gorgeous. Every time I see people like that, I'm always like, fuck. I had my best. I was never that good looking,
So
that's why, we know.
So that's your favorite scene?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, let me just say real quick, I really appreciate the trauma angle, and like you said, I actually really like, because it's out of the box, that we spend so much time building this poor kid's sad story.
Yeah.
That it's as much as he's a bad guy, like I kind of feel for him. It's like he was just kind of screwed his whole life. So I don't know. I always find it like it's not fun. It's not like Jason, like you said earlier. It's not like, I have a lot of movies that I'm always rooting for the killer. Like we talked about Black Christmas, and I know you didn't like it, but I was against the sorority.
I don't blame
but this
you.
is.
I don't blame you, dude.
But in this movie, nobody was in the right. I was like, oh, this sucks. Poor guys kill people that don't deserve to die, but he's also fucked up. So I thought that was a cool little sort of wraparound for what really is just kind of, treated like a trashy movie. Like it has a little more going for it than I think anybody likes to admit, at least outside of the horror community. But what about you, man? What's your favorite scene?
It's odd execution that hits like different notes. So, for example, it's definitely almost like a softcore porn.
Yes.
At some point, there's Billy in a dream sequence of Billy, and he's in bed with the chick, and they pan down. And I see all this fucking fur, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Oh,
that's his hairy ass.
That's his hairy ass. Yeah, it took me a while to kind of like register what the fuck I was seeing. I'm like, oh no, and I turned to my chick. I'm like, that's that dude's ass. She's like, oh shit, that's hairy. I'm like, yeah, it's very hairy. So if I'm at the point where I'm seeing this in a horror film, that they're being very loosey-goosey with the nudity. So their approach to nudity was very exploitation, very softcore porn.
Yes.
But then the character development in terms of the killer was very, nothing Oscar worthy or anything, but very grounded or trying to be grounded with broad strokes. It's not very realistic, but
But there's effort that there normally wouldn't be. Yeah.
Yeah, the kid sees his family gets killed, and by Santa, and then he's in a orphanage with nuns, and what he's going through, and the kid actor that played Billy as a kid, I thought was pretty good. So I was buying what he was selling, so I was buying that. And then once he goes cray, then it becomes a standard slasher. So my favorite thing about the movie, of course, I love the Linnea Quigley scene, but my favorite thing about the movie is it's unorthodox in terms of slasher picture structure. Doesn't mean it makes for a fun time. Doesn't mean it's like I watched it this morning. I'm like, it's not the kind of fucking movie I want to watch first thing in the morning. It's very nihilistic. It's very dark. It's not a happy, Friday 13 Part 8. He's in Manhattan. Ding, ding, ding. That's one thing. This is kind of unpleasant. There you go.
Yes. Yeah. There's a lot of movies I really love. I would put on like a high on my list in life, but movies I don't own and don't revisit a lot because of this.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is obviously a lighter version of that. Like for instance, Irreversible, I think is a masterpiece, but I don't ever need to see that again. I'm good. But like you said, there's that exploitationist-esque part of this that makes it kind of uncomfortable. It's something that like I don't always revisit. This isn't my Christmas classic because it's just this poor kid getting his watching his mom and dad get murdered. And it's like fucking, you know, and like and I, you know, there's a line I got to walk. Like I like little nihilism, but like this is a little on the heavy side. But it's cool that in 1984 they made this. Like I said, it feels though like a late 70s movie for sure.
It does. It does. Definitely.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's something I don't revisit as often because it's a little rapey for me and it's a little uncomfortable.
It's very rapey, dude.
I'm just trying to be. I'm trying to be cool about it. I don't want to be like, there's just so much rape. But yeah, it's a lot. It
opens with a rape. In the middle,
there's a lot of rape. I know. I'm like,
It's rape. Yeah, no, it's the same thing. You know, I'll pick Gremlins, you know, as a Christmas movie over this. Like, I don't watch Silent Night, Deadly Night every Christmas. I hadn't watched it in a long time exactly because of that. It's not a fun movie. And what's the least favorite thing in the movie for you?
It's going to be real specific.
Is it the cop? The cop?
No, the cop does. I mean, I don't love the cop. I don't, but
right away the cop showed up. You're like, it should have been John Saxon. Right away, that's what you think.
Yeah, well, because it's playing that role. I mean, I do think it loses steam in that last act.
Yeah, it does.
Like it should have just been the killer, and then somebody should have like stood up. The cop angle I always found was a little like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I hate the look that Billy has with his beard pulled down. I fucking never liked that because he has such a pretty boy baby face. I don't like that. Like he should have the pulled up. You'd be to me it'd be more threatening. Having it down kind of looks like I don't know, Trading Places and what's his face is drunk and just wandering around. You know, Aykroyd. Top Dollar, I can't think of his name right now, from The Crow. That guy has a good face. Put him down. But no, this
Michael
fucking pretty boy.
Michael Wincott.
Yeah, exactly. I love that man. He has the voice I would pay for. But this guy just looks like a fool with it down. And I never liked it. Every time I see like pictures, there's a toy out that they sold with the Blu-ray set. And I'm like,
yeah, there is a toy out. And I think you're full of shit, to be honest.
Nah, I know I'm not. I'm telling you the truth. It's from my heart. I don't like that look. I never have.
Well, you should like the look.
No.
Because it's a nice contrast, you know. You get to see the eyes, you get to see the face of an angel committing acts of the devil. I love that shot where at some point it's like a close-up profile on him. He's fucking sweating.
And I'm assuming yours is the cop then, right?
Well, it's basically the last act, really. The last act.
It does, yeah.
Which the cop, you know, shows up in the last act. First of all, he doesn't know how to hold a gun. That bothered me. You know, that's actually usually, guys, that's a Lance note, because Lance is usually very anal about these little things, but for me, I let shit go. But on this watch, he's holding the gun with his finger on the trigger like this. I'm like, dude, you're going to let out a shot, bro. You're going to let out a shot any second now.
Any cop would know, you gotta have the fucking...
Yeah, you got to have it, you know, sideways on the trigger. And then finally at the end, you know, when they shoot Billy before, you know, he drops the axe, and that slow motion that never ends. He looks like an idiot. He looks like Cagney and Lacey. You know, I don't know. I couldn't take him seriously, and I was disappointed that Mother Superior didn't get hers.
Yeah, she was a real villain, honestly.
Yeah. Although, you know, I understood what she was talking about. You know, discipline and this and that.
The poor guy didn't fucking watch his mom and dad get murdered. Like, how about you just don't put him on the Santa guy? You know. Just like fucking force him to sit on the guy's lap, and he fucking cold cocks the stand. I really like that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Like, gets awesome. Fucking pulls back, lands a good shot. You know, it's like, all right, where you go, Billy?
And it's, you know, it's not a complaint. It's just a fact. It's just not a very pleasant movie. You know, and you know, I don't know. It's not the kind of movie I watch a lot. Have you seen, out of curiosity, have you seen part 2?
Yeah. I think I saw part 2 mid-20s. I don't have the love for it that most people do. I think it's good, but I remember so this is when number 2 is really big in terms of like a pop culture zeitgeist.
Well, the whole garbage day thing.
Yes, so
went viral. Yeah.
Yes, and I was in my 20s, I believe, when that truly went viral on the internet, and so I think that's when I saw it. And I was kind of excited. So this could be a really like awesome cheesy movie, and then half it's a fucking flashback, and I don't like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't really want to get into it too much, because I'm assuming we'll do an episode on it down the road.
Set me up, buddy. I would have kept it short.
But it's definitely you know, it was shot in 10 days. the new footage. So they shot new footage in 10 days with, Eric Freeman, who played
His brother.
the brother of Billy, little
the
kid,
kid,
in part one. Yeah. And then, around those 10 days of shooting, they basically used flashbacks from the first film. So it's pretty, it is what it is. There was a part of me that wanted to I was like, let's just cover part 2 because we get part 1 and 2 in one, for this episode, but I didn't go that way. And part 3 is actually the only of the sequels that, although it has absolutely nothing to do with the vibe of part 1 and 2, is like brain transplants and shit with the brain of Billy or anything like that. Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. But after that, then it became, they're just using the IP, Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, the Toy Maker, which, by the way, funnily enough, about the Toy Maker, when the original came out, there was an actor called Mickey Rooney.
Yeah.
He was one of the more,
outspoken.
I like the word verbal, by the way. Verbal. Say it with me now. Verbal.
Verbal.
There you go. He's one of the most verbal motherfuckers about the first film. Up in arms, pitchfork, Twitter. And he winds up being the lead of part 5.
It's one of those series that goes off the rails, but in more of an interesting way. So I'm never against some weird shit. But the first one's a classic for a reason because it is the Killer Santa movie that changed a generation. Siskel Ebert, like we said, took it personally. It's like it called their mother a whore, and they were upset. I've never seen anything like it. And
are they now?
What?
Whores? Are there mother whores?
I've never met them. I don't know. I mean, I think they're all passed away. I'd assume not, based on the information I'm given. I just assume they took it personally and they were upset. But I also, as much as Siskel and Ebert hated horror, they were part of my life, so I'll never hate them.
That was a play on a Roadhouse sign. Remember Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze?
I just showed it to my mom for the first time. Forgot all the fucking sex in it.
remember that champion that's banging the chick in a closet or something, and he gets pinched by I think Swayze.
Yeah, he walks in.
I'm on my break, And he's like, stay on it,
But I'm on my break. Stay on it.
But then later on, not later on, I think beforehand, they have an interaction. He goes, he called my mama a whore. And Swayze passes by and goes, is she?
I wonder if somebody calls my mama a whore. Is she?
He's just like this Zen guy. He doesn't take like painkillers or anything.
Pain don't hurt, bro. Pain don't hurt.
He's doing Tai Chi. No, I love it. Like I said, I showed my mom never saw it, and she came over and we watched it.
I like the fact we went from Silent Night, Deadly Night to now we're talking about Roadhouse, and and I'm gonna stop that madness right now, guys. We're sorry we're leading you astray on this episode, but I'll leave you with the best scene and the best line in Roadhouse right now. I used to fuck guys like you in prison.
I used to fuck guys like you in prison.
So, anyways, we're back. So you know what? We usually don't do this shit, but out of curiosity, if you had to give Silent Night, Deadly Night a rating, what would it be?
I would say a solid 7.
Yep, same thing here. 7 on 10. Yeah, definitely.
Solid 7.
I agree. Cool. So same thing, 7 on 10. Guys, dolls, give us your ratings below. How much would you give Silent Night, Deadly Night? I'm curious. I'm sure Lance is curious. Are you curious? You better fucking be curious.
I'm always curious because I don't know where people stand.
And before we go, out of curiosity for myself, what are going to be the movies you watch at Christmas?
So what I do every year is the same. It's always Christmas Vacation. Of course, this is a Chicagoan or not. That's a fucking masterpiece. Gremlins, a new one, which came about maybe like a decade ago, and it's Emily's favorite movie. It's funny enough, is Krampus, which I think is the modern Gremlins. That's amazing. And
yeah, it is. Yeah.
I end the night with Die Hard.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. For me, Cobra, Lethal Weapon.
Oh, nice.
I already did I Come in Peace. So Cobra, Lethal Weapon. And these are going to be weird choices. Mystery Alaska.
That's the hockey one with
Russell Crowe. And Russell Crowe, yeah. And Burt Reynolds, of course. Oh, you're going to double check on that shit? You're not going to trust me? What? Go ahead. Let's just wait here while Lance wastes his time.
I apologize. Why was I thinking Kurt Russell?
No, it's a young, thin Russell Crowe. So it's one of my favorite. I mean, I love hockey. I'm Canadian.
It's in your blood.
I've always watched it at Christmas. And the Nativity Story, which is, the birth of Christ. It's a movie about the birth of Christ.
I know, but what year did that come out?
I think it was 2008. It was directed by the chick that directed Twilight, funnily enough, and it starred the dude that played Poe in Star Wars. That's Joseph.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good actor. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's not many movies done about the Nativity, but that's one that I like, even with the cheese here and there. But I enjoy it. And Gremlins, Gremlins also is usually on there. But
what a interesting list, John. Like the Nativity makes sense in terms of the actual holiday, but I guess I always forget Cobra is a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
The Weapon I know is, but it's never as pronounced. But I forget about Cobra. Interesting.
So that's it, buddy. That's pretty much it. I guess next time I'll see you, it'll be
next episode will be our New Year's show, or it'll air before, but it'll be the one we cheers to the new year. Merry Christmas, John Fallon. Merry Christmas, your family, everybody is watching it. It always means the world to us. We're simple folk, and anybody that wants to come and chat movies, man, it means more than I could say.
Most definitely. Merry Christmas, guys, dolls, Lance. I hope it's filled with joy, food, booze, and I also hope that whatever your life has been this year, all the negative, next year you turn it into a positive and forge forward in a upward and positive direction. How about that?
I like it.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Be good,
Merry
brother.
Christmas.
Be good. Peace.